episode 2, Vibe Sports Talk. We appreciate all the love on the first episode.
Let's do it.
You know, that was a lot of fun. Now we got the ball really rolling here. You know, how we coming, Matty?
Oh, very good, very good. We got episode 2 for you guys. We're going to recap UFC 254. We're going to get into a little NFL. We're going to get into a little World Series.
Yes, sir.
And ladies and gentlemen, Huey, if you want to toss me the bag real quick.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the big announcement of the day.
Big announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, our stickers have finally arrived.
The official sticker.
Just get a little quick close up for you guys real quick. Woo!
Make sure y'all are interested. DM us at VibezSportsTalk.
Get yours today.
Get yours today.
Huey, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
get
get it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Guys,
let's jump into it.
It's time for the NFL segment of the show. And, man, we got a lot to talk about. Once again, the NFL is really heating up heading into Week 8. Man, I'm excited to get into this. You ready, Matty?
Oh, very much so. Let's get right into it.
All right, first, we got to start with my Raiders. Took a little step back this week.
How about them Raiders, baby?
Man, it's been rough. I mean, the offense, one of the top offenses in the league, in my opinion, but John Gruden, I'm pleading to you on camera. Fire Paul Guenther. He is the worst defensive coordinator in the league. You can't blame all these top free agents you guys brought in and your defense still being trash on the players, bro. Figure it out. Fire Paul Guenther and make all us Raider fans happy. That's all I got to say on this topic. If we had any sort of defense that wasn't Swiss cheese, we wouldn't be 3-3 and we'd be in the playoff picture already, not one game out, all right? Like, please fire this man. All right, I'm good.
Got that off your chest?
Man, yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, the Raiders are going to be, like I said last episode, the next 10 years. Bowing down to Mr. Mahomes. So this defense will definitely not be getting nothing done this year for you guys, unfortunately. You guys will be in the hunt, though, for sure. We'll definitely be in the conversation, I think.
Wild card team.
Wild card type.
I think so, too.
Division out the question, though, for sure.
Oh, yeah, no.
But wild card for sure. But the defense needs to get fixed.
Fire the D coordinator will be good, trust.
Fire the D coordinator, have trust in the secondary because they're young. It's a young secondary, have trust.
That's why I'm like,
Carr, how do you think about Carr's play this last week?
I mean, let's be real. Like, he has to feel like he has to play perfect because the defense is so trash. Imagine that pressure. Like, you have no defense. You can't make a mistake because they're going to get drove down the field on, give up 7. And if they don't give up 7, guess what? They're for sure giving up 3. It's rough. And, like, that game was close. The final score doesn't really show you how the game went because they scored like 3 touchdowns in the last 5 minutes when the game was kind of like already decided.
Got your second stringers in there type thing.
Yeah, and like Brady's just picking on all the young secondary after we're already getting beat. So like, I think if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be 3-3.
True. If
it wasn't for him, we'd probably be 1-5. If we're being honest, like he's had a great year so far. But like I said, he's just playing scared, not in the essence of what people have said in the past, but more so because he knows if him and the offense make one mistake, that defense is giving up the game. It's just how we have. I think besides the Cowboys, we're giving up the second most points in the NFL.
And the Cowboys are horrific.
Exactly. So that defense needs a fixing, and in my opinion, it's the D coordinator. Simple as that.
Okay. How about them Niners?
Big bounce back week again, boy.
Big bounce back.
2 in a row now?
Big bounce back.
2 in a row.
Real quick. Hawks 5-1. Cardinals 5-2. Rams 5-2. Niners 4-3.
Man, we said it last episode.
1 game behind.
Last episode, what did we say? Best division in football.
Best division in football.
Simple. This is the best division in football.
If you're the Niners, are you going to push?
Yeah, at least a couple more weeks. You gotta see how it plays out. I mean, you
have Seattle. You have Seattle next week. This coming up week is Seattle.
That's a big week.
So if you win that game,
oh yeah, you're definitely pushing.
You're pushing?
Yeah, for sure. Bro, you guys are a game out of playoffs right now as we speak. Like in terms of wild card, you're 1 game back in the conference. Like,
and if they would have had one more win, all 4 of those teams right now, season ended, make playoffs.
Identical, basically. Yeah.
Make playoffs.
All 4?
I'm pretty sure all 4 would make playoffs.
So I don't think that's possible.
Oh, all 4 could definitely make playoffs.
No, because it's one.
You added an extra team now.
Oh, that's this year they're doing the extra team?
It's the extra team.
Damn, okay. So that's possible
last year they made the rule, and this
is
the year that it's now.
Okay. Because in the past, it was always you can get 3 teams in there at the most.
Exactly.
Like, the 4th team would always like miss out by like.
Right now, the season ended. Now they would take that last spot.
That'd be crazy.
So,
But
I don't
yeah.
know, though. I'm a little 50-50
What
on
do
the
you think-
Niners
yeah,
pushing for it because, in reality, when it comes to, like, playoff games,
Yeah.
the playoff mentality, I just don't think they'll be able to get it done with all the injuries they have this year. The big one being Bosa.
Yeah.
I think that hurts us a lot, especially hurts our secondary.
Especially after losing Buckner, too.
Buckner too, yep, that's
Man.
huge. I think they're gonna regret that one for a while,
Yeah.
just because Armstead just hasn't I haven't seen anything really from him at
Yeah.
all that says you're worth all that money, and to not give Buckner that extra just $2 million and to leave off of I'm not gonna sign him just because that $2 million is kind of like wow.
And then it's almost like choosing like Armstead over him too.
Exactly.
And it's like Buckner's for sure put more on the tape. Why did we choose
for
Armstead
sure.
over him?
But one thing that popped out to me for the Niners this week was that receiver core.
Yeah, it looked a lot better.
It looked
but
a lot
now
better.
Debo, we
But now
talked in the
Debo's
past, Debo's
out,
back out
hamstring.
with his hamstring. Yeah.
I think Ayuk will step up big time.
Hey, I was hating on your guys' receiving core last week.
You were.
I still think it's true because Debo is solid, but he's not like a superstar one you need on your roster.
Exactly.
And I've always believed Kittle's your best receiver, but Ayuk is showing me some things. And if he can be,
For sure.
if he can be something special like he's looked, him and Debo as a 1-2 is good enough for your guys' wide receiver core because you run the ball so good and because Kittle is
And you have Kittle,
the best
but
tight end
that's
in
what I
football.
say.
You know what I mean? Like
They have to go out and get a different quarterback. You have to get a quarterback that can sling the ball. If you're gonna have receivers like this and a tight end like you have right now, you need somebody that you could trust slinging the ball, going down there with a minute left to win the game, ball on the 10-yard line, gotta drive 90 yards to win the game or tie the game.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think Kyle Shanahan could say, all right, I can trust Jimmy Garoppolo right now to go down there and start slinging the ball.
yeah,
Because he's going to throw a pick.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Blitz him, he's screwed.
yeah.
He's going to close his eyes.
Offensive line looked improved these last 2 weeks though.
They did.
They were getting trashed when we were
They
talking
did.
about
That's
him
because
after
probably
that.
Kyle Shanahan said, all you guys bend over. What-do? What-do?
Whipped him in the shade real quick.
Whipped him real quick.
Yeah.
And it started with Trent Williams, sorry ass.
Man.
Pathetic.
Man.
But next topic for the NFL, we have here, I see the best teams, Mr. Huey. Who are your top 5?
My top 5, the last unbeaten's got to reign supreme at number 1, the Steelers.
It does, the Steelers.
After taking down another unbeaten team,
What
the
an
Titans.
impressive team. I gotta say this year. Coming out of nowhere, would you say?
Not out of nowhere, but I knew losing Big Ben last year for them was like big, but I didn't realize it was like this big. 6-0, 6-0 big. Like that's pretty wild to me. And
if they had Ben last year, do you think like they're pushing like big time? Because it's pretty much the same squad. They didn't change anything.
The only thing I would say is no, just because Brady was still with the Patriots, and like the Patriots had the Steelers number. Like I think they played them last year, like week 2, and beat them like 33-6 or something like that. Like kind of what y'all just did to them. Like the Patriots, the Patriots always kind of had the Steelers number, so I don't think so. But I think this is a good year for them, and they're number 1 in my top 5 right now. Followed by the Chiefs at number 2. Come on, what can you say? It's Mahomes, man.
Yeah.
They have one slip up against the Raiders. It's not the end of the world for them, and they know this. Like they're gonna be there every year for the next until Mahomes is done. Like let's be real. So I got Chiefs at 2. Titans, they were last unbeaten. Their only loss comes to the Steelers. So
and it was close. It
came
down to,
they came back.
Drive?
Yeah, I think so. They came all the way back from being down big.
Yep.
So I can't hate on them too much. Drop them too far down my rankings. So I got the Titans at 3.
All this is looking identical right now.
Seahawks at 4. I mean, even though they lost to the Cardinals, we've been talking all year about Cardinals being an up and coming team, and like don't be
it shows it right there.
And don't be surprised if they make a push in the playoffs. It's like not just get in and get bounced round 1. Like don't be surprised. Like if they squeeze their way into playoffs and then start causing problems for people. Like that, I can definitely see that happening. So I still got Seahawks sitting pretty at 4. And a surprise to the top 5, the Tampa Bay Bucks and Mr. Tom Brady himself.
Wow.
Making a push into the top 5. I mean, that defense is dominant.
It is.
And then
it's lights out.
Think about it. Like when you have a dominant defense like that and you have a smart quarterback like Brady playing complementary football, you're an A1 team. So that's my top 5. I'd love to hear yours.
My top 5 is the exact same with yours besides one thing.
Number 5.
And it's going to be shocking with all you guys. I'm going to switch up his 5 and his 4, and I got Tampa at 4, and I got Seattle at 5.
Interesting.
And I got a hot take for you guys possibly at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, I feel the same way about Seahawks and Bucks. Like, they're kind of interchangeable. But I just stick with the Seahawks just because, like, the Bucks struggled early on.
Well,
But they're starting to catch their stride, but the Seahawks haven't even really struggled. Like that loss to the Cardinals, that was still a good ass game. You feel me? So,
as a Raider fan, Mr. Huey, I'm sorry to break this to you, but they take that number 4 spot, and I'm gonna break it here right now. The Bucks will win the Super Bowl this year based on one thing: business is booming in Tampa now. Coming week 9, they're coming in hot with that receiver core. What you gotta say? Business is booming. Antonio Brown, baby, Tampa.
Antonio Clown ain't going to be no kind of difference maker. The only thing I see this is causing problems for the Bucks. They should have kept it how it is. You already have Chris Godwin, you have Mike Evans, and you have Gronk, and you have a bunch of young receivers that Brady had no problem throwing to this week against the Raiders. Look at it. Like, they were torching us all over the field. AB, honestly, we all know he's one of the best receivers in football when he was playing. But, listen, 3 years, 3 teams. We need you to be a team guy. What can he be? A fucking team guy. Excuse my language, but I just can't stand that clown. So I don't think that makes any difference for them. I can honestly say I think it would be more of a subtraction by addition than addition by addition. Yeah, I think it's going to cause them problems. Well, Bruce Arians has already publicly said multiple times he doesn't like AB, that, and then they sign AB, and the first thing he says is, I don't need any complaints about touches. Mike Evans doesn't complain. Chris Godwin doesn't complain. Well, guess what? They're not nuts. They're not idiots. They're not Antonio Brown. So I think it's going to cause more problems than do good, in my opinion.
Well, funny, because I think the complete opposite, actually. I think, first of all, I'm going to touch on the Bruce Arians thing. I did see that. Bruce Arians did say, I believe, what week was it? Like 3 or 4 that...
That was before season.
Before the season.
Before the season, he was like, no.
He was OC
yeah, he was in Steelers, Pittsburgh.
Right? Well, breaking news to those of you that don't know, Tom Brady calls the shots in Tampa. Not Bruce Arians. If Tom Brady wants something, Tom Brady's getting it. And Tom Brady wanted business to start booming. And let me tell you something. AB's desperate right now to get back on that field. Yep. He's itching to get back on that field. He's begging and pleading everywhere he goes to get back on that field. So if you give him just a little hope to get back on, I don't think he's going to mess it up. And I think you have the right quarterback to make sure to keep him in check.
I mean, they thought that everyone said that about New England too. They'd keep him in check, but I don't know. I don't know.
I just feel like it wasn't a right situation for him there. I feel like in Tampa, he's already where he's living. I'm pretty sure he lives in Tampa.
He lives in Florida.
So he's already used to the area. He's got his people there. Yada, yada, yada. So I think he'll be good, but I think it's a very big positive, and I have him win the Super Bowl because honestly, I just don't know a defense that could stop all those weapons on the field at the same time with a veteran like Tom Brady
just slinging
back there slinging it.
Man, all right, another big topic. Le'Veon to the Chiefs. We didn't get to touch on that. It happened before we dropped the last episode.
We did it. The rich get richer.
The rich get richer. Man, that's all you can say, honestly. He's going to go there and excel. Everyone publicly claims Adam Gase is a terrible coach and gets the worst out of players. That's exactly what happened to Le'Veon. Ever since he left and he went to the Jets, he's been a shell of himself, and I think it's because of the coaching and the environment in the Jets. And I think this new change of scenery with one of the best offenses and best quarterbacks in football, like, Andy Reid's going to find a way to get this man going.
No, yeah, for sure. And I don't see them really using him in the run game. I see them using him mostly in the pass game.
And I think goal line carries too. Because he's bigger than Hilaire. Hilaire's more of a smaller, shifty back out in the open.
I definitely see him more out there in the pass game because he's a great pass catcher in the backfield.
Agree.
But another big signing that I want to touch up on that just happened, I believe, today is Dez Bryant.
Dez Bryant to the practice
squad to the Ravens.
Man.
In my opinion,
I could see him making the roster.
I see him making the roster before we know it. Just based on, let's get that veteran in here.
Yeah.
Just to get the receiver sharpened up and the route running good.
Yeah.
And just to
and he's like a he's a big body, sure-handed receiver, which I think they're lacking because they have a lot, in my opinion, like speed killers like Brown. And, obviously they have Andrews at tight end, but I think adding Dez is actually going to be a very good addition for them after he gets a couple weeks and gets ready for game shape, right in time for the playoff push.
No, yeah, for
sure. So I think that's a good signing, too. I like that signing. And once again, the rich get richer. Man.
And also, real quick.
Big injury news in the NFL.
Big injury. OBJ. That's actually quite a topic, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Before this week, I think a lot of people were saying he needs to get out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
But now, in my opinion, that's going to be very hard. Just based on Cleveland, you can't really get much for him right now.
Yeah, his trade value just
went so much down. So now he needs to
they're winning games, so I don't think they were going to trade him anyway. But this is a big subtraction of their offense now.
But check this out. He was, I believe the Browns were losing the game when he got injured.
Mayfield's first pass. Tore his ACL trying to stop an interception return.
They go on, though, and win the game without him.
Yeah.
What if they go on a little run now without him? Win some games, start noticing, all right, hey, this quarterback's playing actually better without him.
Yeah, we could.
Let's just get him out the building.
Yeah, maybe Baker's playing more free, not worrying about feeding him touches in a way. You know what I mean?
But like you said, his value though is just so down. I think
they're gonna have to wait for him to come back and prove himself again.
Prove himself, play a couple games this year, next time. Hopefully, maybe he can get out.
And let me say, myself included, to all you fantasy owners that drafted OBJ, man, has it been rough this year.
Woo-wee!
He's given us 1 week. 1 week where he went for 35 points. I don't think he went over 10 points any other weeks. I'm sorry you guys had to go through that.
Gotta blame that on
myself included. That was tough to deal with.
Whoever's scouting your guys' teams and drafting your guys' teams, gotta go talk to them. Horrible management. Whoever's drafting
I know
him.
that one hurts the fantasy owners out there, so I feel for y'all. I feel for y'all, but man, I can't wait for week 8 so we can get midway through the season. We're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Real quick,
MVP votes.
Mr. Huey.
Yeah.
I want to talk. Who's gonna tank for Trevor?
Oh,
there's a couple teams right now that are kind of floating around.
There's one team that's tanking for Trevor.
In Pacific?
In specific, they are.
Are they in New York?
Oh, without a doubt, they're in New York. The New York Jets are gonna go 0-16 this year.
Hot take.
They're gonna draft Trevor Lawrence on draft night and trade Sam Darnold.
To where?
I think Indy.
Indy. Really?
Yep. I think that's a good fit for him. I don't know why, but I feel like him going there.
Okay.
If you look at Indy right now without Phillip Rivers, if they had a quarterback that wasn't a turnover machine and old on his last leg, they'd be lightweight, very scary to deal with.
What about Pittsburgh as a backup? Big Ben coming on his last maybe 2 years.
I would like that. I wouldn't mind that at all, actually.
Let him learn under Big Ben. They could play the same. They have the same body type.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be a cool one, too.
Because obviously, you know.
Those are two good options for him,
it
honestly.
Is.
And he gets out of freaking New York with Adam Gase.
You know
I don't think Adam Gase will be there much longer.
He has an arm.
I've seen good things from him.
He can play.
And that run he's mobile, too. He had like that 40-yard run on Thursday night where he juked dude out.
Do you think he could fit in the Niners Shanahan type of scheme? Or do you think that would not fit?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Do you think they can make a move for that?
No.
No.
I think you guys live and die with Jimmy, sadly to say for you. Sad to say for you, but I think y'all live and die with Jimmy. Paid him all the money. Every time anyone asks Shanahan or John Lynch about him.
Stupid ass managers. Stupid ass. John Lynch, if you're watching this, shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself for all the goddamn players you brought in, bringing in a goddamn injury facility to the goddamn organization, taking chance on Mr. This person tore their ACL. Oh, let's sign him for the cheap. Let's bring him in and see what he could do. Nothing. Tears his ACL again. Pathetic. Moving on now.
Moving on. I think, like I said, I'm ready for week 8.
I am.
A lot to talk about when week 8 hits. Midway through the season, halfway point, we really get to judge people off of that, I feel like.
Big time, for sure.
I mean, that's a real time to get your...
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your football topics for episode 2 of Vibe Sports.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment where you will pause this video. Go to Instagram, DM us, and make sure you go purchase your sticker right now. All right, now to get back on topic, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the video. It's time for the recap of UFC 254. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with Whitaker versus Cannonier. Huey, what's your opinion on what happened in that fight with Whitaker's performance?
Man, that was a great performance by Whitaker. He showed me a lot. He's had 2 big-name fights now, and he's came out and dominated both. And Adesanya was calling out Cannonier to come fight him for the next title shot, but guess what?
Not happening anymore.
Not happening. Whitaker was crisp all night and dominated that fight, except for one part at the end when he had that thing completely locked up. Cannonier hit him with one right straight that kind of stunned him a bit, but the former champ had the smarts to say, you know what, there's a minute left. I've already done enough to win this fight. Let me just grapple until I can survive this. Because he did get hit with one straight right at the end. That kind of stunned him a little bit and had him like stumbling around like, oh shit, I might be in trouble here. But then he took care of his and he won that fight and looked crisp doing it. I think Whitaker was very impressive.
I think that's the best Whitaker we have ever seen in the UFC, in my opinion, fight-wise and performance-wise. He just looked crisp. But if he's gonna go now, which he should, deserve the right to get his rematch
Yeah.
with Adesanya.
Definitely.
I just don't think he will be able to get it done with his style. I just think Adesanya is too lengthy, just too overskilled with the kickboxing for him.
Yeah.
And can just outstrike him any day.
I mean, that fight with him and Adesanya, though, even the first one when he got knocked out, like, that was a good fight.
It was a dog fight.
It was back and forth.
It was
and
the back and forth,
yeah,
exactly.
And the thing with them, like you said, like Whitaker or Adesanya has such good striking. I think Adesanya and Whitaker are two of the best pure strikers and counter strikers in the UFC. So that fight is definitely something I want to see again.
Oh, yeah, for
because
sure.
literally that was a back and forth fight until Whitaker got caught with that counter left hook that knocked him out against Adesanya. But that fight was a good fight, and I want to see Adesanya and Whitaker too, because I think that would be a lot of fun for us to watch.
Definitely,
and enjoy.
for sure. And now, if Adesanya wins that, does he stay in that division, do you think?
For sure. I think he just
sure.
reigns supreme
Just
over it.
keeps ranking.
Kind of like John Jones did to the light heavyweight.
Heavyweight. Just keep going till
Yeah.
you just feel like, all right, time's enough.
Either until he dominates so long that he needs to give it up, or someone might beat him. You never know. You know what I mean? Like, just defend your title as many times until someone comes and takes that. You feel me? Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure. But let's get on
To
the
the
hot
main
topic,
event.
the main event. Oh, man, got a lot of mixed emotions about this right now,
ladies and gentlemen.
A little emotionally sad right now about this retirement, but, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. Habib and Gaethje. What a performance by Habib. What a performance.
What can you say?
I don't know if you saw the reports, ladies and gentlemen, but Khabib going into that fight with a broken toe
foot.
and two broken toes and a broken foot. And the way he was moving around,
You wouldn't even be able to tell.
You couldn't even tell. And
He was chasing Gaethje down like
he was
prey.
chasing him down, but not only that, Gaethje hit him with a couple kicks, but he checked him.
Yeah.
And going back, looking at the fight, because I rewatched it, knowing that he had the injury, so I kind of wanted to see like
If you
what
could
he
tell,
was doing, or if you could tell. You couldn't really tell, but he was checking those leg kicks with that foot.
Yeah.
And do you know how you've seen him in his fights, how when he did it versus Conor, he did it versus Dustin, when he gets hit, how he kind of does that, like, doesn't faze me, like the shrug. He did that when he got hit. So right when I saw that the second time, looking back, it's kind of like, okay, you kind of knew right there, like, yeah, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, I kind of knew Gaethje was in trouble too when there was a point where he got hit. Habib got hit by Gaethje with a left hook uppercut combo back to back, and didn't stop any of Habib's forward progress. He just like kept walking him down, and then he almost got the submission in round 1.
He did.
If
there was 10 more seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if there was 10, 15 more seconds on the clock, he was going to pull that arm out and go for the arm bar.
Do you know what a lot of people were noticing too is one in the second round when he did choke him out with the triangle, is that he tapped 2 times.
Oh,
and the ref didn't see it.
The ref was
tripping.
Yeah,
the ref was tripping.
He got put to sleep because of the ref.
Exactly.
Like, I felt bad. I almost felt bad for Gaethje.
He tapped twice.
Because there's a lot of people who said, like, he even said, "Oh, I'm not going to tap. But like, when you're in the position of getting choked out or your arm getting broke, like, you're gonna tap. So that was pretty atrocious by the ref to not see that. But yeah, like, what can you say more than Habib was dominant in that and just walked him down the whole fight?
Is Khabib the GOAT?
All right, here's my whole argument of this. I've talked with people about this, and in my opinion, if you had to put a fighter out there and your life depended on it, who are you gonna pick? I'm picking Habib.
For sure.
No one ever gave him any trouble in his entire career. I know he only has four title wins and defenses and all, and everyone's going to say, obviously, like, because John Jones is the other GOAT, in my opinion. And he's got 15, but there's been plenty of times in John Jones' career where you're like, all right, did he win this fight?
Especially the Dominic Reyes fight.
Yeah, like, that one could have went either way. It was a toss-up almost. So, for me, it's like, Habib just, anytime he stepped in that ring, dominated.
Killing the guy. I smash you. Send location, brother. It don't matter.
Yeah. So, I think you got to go with Habib just based off, like, the performances when he was in the ring. There was no question. Losing one round your entire career and that round being, like, very close still.
Very close, and some people say he won that round.
That's insane.
And not only that, where the John Jones and Khabib argument where it's like, okay, I'm going to give it to Khabib is 1, 29-0. He hasn't lost. And 2... he's never even bled. Not one person has made the man bleed in a fight. That is just crazy to me. Yeah. And also, he's never made a mistake. John Jones in his career made a mistake with the 12-6 elbow, I'm pretty sure, to the back of the head.
When he got the no contest.
When he got the no contest.
Stuff, yeah.
Khabib never made a mistake. In 29 fights, no mistakes. All crispiness.
Yeah, and just dogged everybody.
And people say, okay, he only had the 4 title defenses. Okay, but he, I believe, is I think I saw he was the third most. As a champion, he had to wait the third longest to get his title shot.
So yeah, he had a bunch of fights before his
he
title
had
shot.
11 UFC fights before his title shot.
Yeah.
That's 11 fights winning before they even say, okay, here's your title shot.
No, yeah.
Mostly, I think, though, that's because of Conor doing the whole Floyd thing, holding up the division, him and Aldo falling out 100 times, and then they want to go back to the Aldo fight. So there's a couple things that play into it, but still, I think I have him pound for pound number one go in UFC.
Yeah, I mean, his resume is hard to argue with, and like I said, like obviously I can see the argument for John Jones too. 15 title offenses, he's only got one loss, and that wasn't even really a loss; it was a DQ and all.
DQ.
So I understand it, and he's got the 15 title offenses, which is crazy. But if my life depended on it, and I need to throw one man in there, I know he's gonna just go to work, and I might not have to even worry. I think Khabib's the guy for it. So
Eagle.
the pound for pound number one, I think.
Pound for pound. Well, some people would argue, actually, though, a man that's fighting this Saturday is the GOAT. And that is Anderson Silva.
My boy Anderson Silva, his last fight.
What do you think about that? Do you think he'll go out
I'm excited.
with a W?
This one's a toss-up for me.
It is a big toss-up because
I mean, Hall's still the number 10 ranked contender. He's fighting unranked Silva, who hasn't been that active lately. But this is a big moment for both of them because
it is.
Obviously, it's Silva's last fight. He wants to go out on top with a W, right?
For sure, he said that.
But then with Uriah Hall, like, you're ranked 10, you're fighting an unranked guy, your career's kind of been up and down.
If you lose this, if you're Hall and you lose this,
that's tough.
It's very tough.
You're going to take a big hit, your title chances...
Done, in my opinion.
I mean, you're going to just have to win so many fights to get back to that. And is he ready to do all that?
He's not.
That's what I mean. So this one's a big one for him. If he wins this, then he's going to get another top 10 opponent because he's 10.
Exactly.
And then he'll have a chance to prove himself again and put himself in that conversation.
Are you surprised he took this fight? Being ranked number 10, taking a fight versus a guy
that's unranked,
that one is unranked, hasn't been active, and it is his last fight. So if you go out, this is basically, for Silva, this is a win-win no matter what, basically. You're going out, you're getting a payday, it's your last fight. If you win, you're on top.
Yeah.
But for Hall, there's no
it's
win.
It's a big risk.
If you win, you can't say, all right, let's bump this guy up to 9 or 8 because he didn't beat a ranked person. He beat somebody that's not even ranked.
Yeah, but the only thing that I was saying is he might get bumped up at least 1 or 2 spots because Silva's one of the GOATs. Like, he's so established that
but
even
one
when
of the
you
GOATs
beat him...
at his, like, low end of, like, where he's already been killed by a couple people.
Yeah, like, he's on the back end of his career for sure.
But also, I can see what you're saying, is fighting to go.
Like, you mean he's not fighting some scrub off the street like that no one knows about. He's fighting one of the guys who's, like, reigned supreme over a UFC division for almost a whole decade back in the day, you know what I mean? So... I'm excited for it.
For sure.
I think it's got positives for both. It's also got negatives for both in a way because if you're Silva, you don't want to lose your last fight. If you're Hall, you don't want to lose to an unranked guy. Like it's a bad look. It's a
very bad look. And your career is not.
It could be career defining almost.
Oh, for sure.
It's
defining. That's a good way to put it.
For Hall, I think this is career defining, and for Silva, like this is his like farewell. So if he were to lose, I wouldn't think it'd be as big of a deal. But everyone wants to see the greats go out on top in a way. In any sport, you know what I mean? So
100%.
I would love to see Silva honestly win this fight over Uriah Hall. And my prediction is it's probably going to be Uriah Hall with the W.
Really? Because I think Silva's going to go out there. And I think he's going to get that W.
I mean, it's a main event fight, so it's going to be 5 rounds. So I couldn't really call like how it's going to end. But I think Uriah Hall pulls it out just because of the age factor and the fact that, like, for him, this is career defining. He needs to win this fight.
All right.
He needs to win this fight. Oh, wait.
You got Hall?
I got Hall winning that.
I got Silva. We'll see who wins that.
We will see.
A big topic we have is this lightweight division with Khabib retiring. We have a vacant champion now. So I believe you have Conor, Dustin, Gaethje, Ferguson, and you have
Michael Chandler from
Bellator.
Yeah. So
what would you do? If I'm
Dana White and I'm looking at the matchups to make, here's what I'm doing. Ready? I'm fighting Conor Poirier first.
Okay.
Because they're scheduled to fight in December. That's not too far off. That's a month away. The division can wait 1 month, right? They're going to fight. Then at the beginning of next year in, say, March, the winner of Conor Poirier faces Gaethje for the title. The actual title, right? And the loser of Conor Poirier gets Michael Chandler.
Okay.
Because he needs a chance somewhere, and if the loser of Conor Poirier isn't going to get that shot against Chandler, it has to be Ferguson. you have to give Chandler a chance to go fight for the title because you brought him over here for that reason.
Yeah.
He was he was gonna get a title shot off the jump if someone was hurt. So it's very interesting.
We talked about this a little bit off camera.
Yep.
But I'm gonna change my opinion about what I told you. I think you have the Dustin and Conor fight set to happen in
December 21st, I believe.
December 21st?
I think that's the date for it.
Alright, so that fight will happen December 21st. Then they'll need at least, give or take, 3 months to recover.
And then go fight for the championship. That's what I mean, like January, February, March.
So March. Okay, so you're looking at March for them to go fight for a belt.
Oops.
Now you had Justin say he needs 8 weeks.
Yeah.
To prepare for to fight again.
I mean, he didn't take that much damage in the
He didn't at all. So he could go again in 8 weeks. He could start a training camp and be ready to fight again in January time. Yeah. I think. So I think the best take for the UFC is to do Justin versus Chandler, and make that for the belt. Winner of Dustin versus Conor fights the winner of that fight.
I mean, I like the idea, but my only issue with it is Chandler's first fight in the UFC to me can be for a title.
Okay, I the fact that but Michael Chandler has a career and a good career in Bellator. You gotta remember.
No, yeah, he was a champion in Bellator too. Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. We talked about it. Habib had to fight, what, 11 fights you said before he got...
No, yeah.
So how are you going to bring some guy over and just give his first fight in the UFC as a title shot?
If it's not a title shot, it doesn't. For sure, but then if it's not a title shot, you have to do it against a number 1 or number 2 ranked opponent.
Well, that's what I mean. So he takes the loser of the McGregor-Poirier fight, and the winner gets to fight for the title, and then he fights either McGregor-Poirier or, like I said...
What if you just don't open it with Ferguson?
That'd be cool. That's what I was saying, too.
The winner of that could fight who, though?
The winner of that will fight for the title.
For the title?
After the winner of Conor and Poirier. Whoever loses Conor Poirier, sorry, you might be looking at a little stall because...
A big stall.
They're going to have to figure out you have to figure out how you're going to get... Obviously, Gaethje gets the title shot to start because he's just in the title against one of the GOATs and lost. I mean, what are you going to say? He's still the interim champ before that fight. So, I think he's automatically in the title shot one more time at least for the next one. And then, like I said, he's going to have to fight either Poirier, Conor, or Ferguson. Even though he dogged Ferguson.
I don't think they'll do Ferguson right away. I highly don't see that happening.
You know, that's what I mean. That's why I think the winner of Conor Poirier gets the next title shot against Gaethje.
Who do you think wins that fight? Because Poirier is he's a different fighter since last time they fought.
I think so is Conor, though.
He is.
They've both evolved and got better and, more smart, more fights under their belt and stuff. So that's what I mean. This division's crazy. They can do so many different things with it, which is cool. The only thing I would not like is if Chandler's first fight is for the title. Like, it just doesn't sit right with me. Come to the UFC, win one big fight or one medium fight, and then take out a top guy, and then you get, you know what I mean? Show me a little track record. I'm not gonna just give you your golden ticket. Here you go, come fight for the ship. Like, I think he needs to prove himself a little bit in the UFC before he just gets that.
We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. But that is your UFC topics for episode 2. Any last closing arguments, Huey?
One last one is 2. I'm excited because I think Brian Ortega, after that show he put on against the Korean Zombie, is gonna get a title shot against Volkanovski.
And you know what I think should happen after that? I think you throw Max Holloway in.
Oh, definitely. I think they should have did the Max Holloway trilogy, but I think the UFC was just getting a little
hazy on it.
Yeah, because
they lost two
decisions that were kind of controversial, which is why we kind of need
a number 3
third,
to see. Is it really official?
But I think the UFC was getting kind of weird about it because 3 fights with the same dudes for the same title, it's kind of holding the division away, like you said. So I think Ortega should get his chance, and then Holloway beats another guy in the top 5. And then gets another chance. Because, honestly, I hope Volkanovski, if that's the case, wins so that Holloway can go face him for the 3rd time while he's still a champ. Because I think Holloway got robbed both times.
Oh, for sure, 100%. I think he won both those fights.
So I would love for that division to get another Holloway-Volkanovski trilogy. But I wouldn't be opposed to Ortega going up there and winning the title, too. Because he looked good against the Koreans. Yeah, he looked fresh. First fight in, I think it was about 2 years because he was dealing with the injury after the Holloway fight and everything, so I would love to see it. I'd love to see that title fight too. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for you guys. It's time for the World Series recap segment of the show. World Series just ended tonight. About 20 minutes ago, we were watching it.
Indeed.
And man, was that a fun series to watch. I really wish it went to Game 7. The 2 best words in sports, Game 7. But Dodgers pulled it out in 6. La La Land's got 2 champions. Maddie, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the series.
I thought it was a good series, very entertaining. I gotta say, my predictions on MVP though were a big bust. Pitcher with Clayton Kershaw. He did have a good series, but definitely not MVP worthy.
Yeah.
I think your prediction with Mookie actually was shocking that he didn't get the MVP.
I was pretty surprised they gave it to Seager over Mookie. He had a bunch of steals. He hit that homer tonight to seal it almost that insurance run. And he's been almost carrying him a lot of the postseason too. He's been making big play after big play. So I was surprised too. A little upset because I wanted my prediction to be right, but Seager did good too all series. So I see why he did get the MVP. But I was pretty surprised that Mookie didn't get the MVP. Like, it was kind of shocking to me.
Same. And honestly though, in my opinion, the home run that he hit in the Ace was a big time win for LA and just the front office in general.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because that was just a big ass stamp on why we traded for this man.
Yeah.
That's what they said. This is why we went out and we cashed this guy out. This is why we traded for him. Take us over the top and to win us games like this. So that was a big home run right there for the front office. Maybe not, I guess, MVP worthy home run, but definitely MVP worthy for the front office.
Oh yeah, definitely. It just solidifies that trade they made. He's worth every single cent they spent, every draft pick, everything involved. He was worth every piece of it because he's a bona fide superstar in that MLB. And having him and Bellinger in that lineup for years and years to come is going to be
dangerous,
nasty. Like, they had a good season. It was a crazy season for sure in that MLB. The 60 games, the extra playoff teams, all that. But Dodgers finally pulled it off. It was pretty impressive.
We will see.
Yeah, but I was also surprised the Rays, they got nothing to hang their hat on. Other than
nothing.
The only thing they have to hang their hat on is their stupid coach decided to pull their ace when he was cruising in the most crucial point of the year.
And that whole entire bullpen has just been lighting it up all postseason.
Yeah.
Lighting it up.
Yeah, so it was crazy to me for him to pull Snell when he's cruising in the most important time of the year was pretty shocking, and just I think what ultimately did cost him this World Series, or at least a chance at Game 7, because he had no runs given up. He was cruising. He had like 9 Ks. Yep. He was dominating, and then you're going to pull your best guy in the most important time of the year for one of your bullpen guys. Like, it just goes to show that sometimes when you overthink things, they don't work out for you, like how baseball's been doing it. Another bright spot that the Rays got out of this, other than that they've progressed farther in the postseason than they have in a long time, is Randy Arozarena.
Big time player, big time rookie.
Nowhere.
Out of nowhere, exactly.
He carried them this postseason. His back is going to be hurting all offseason. Like, he carried that offense almost all postseason, set all these crazy records as a rookie. It's a nice bright spot for him, too. It's pretty impressive.
Sorry to break it to all you Giant fans, but unfortunately, that boy also broke the record and took the fort from Barry Bonds for most home runs by a rookie in the postseason. So congrats to that man on taking out the steroid king. Never will be in the Hall of Fame. Want to be Mr. Get me in the Hall of Fame. But will never happen with his bald ass.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the offseason now. I don't think the Dodgers will repeat, though. So hard to do in baseball, and I'm just interested.
Contenders for sure, though?
Oh, for sure. They're contenders every year, but they've been known to choke, so this is their time they overcame it. But I don't know. I don't think they'll repeat, especially because I'm interested to see how the season plays out next year. Are they going to do bubbles? Is it going to be a full 162? Is it going to be 80, 82, or 81, like a half season instead of like...
True.
Because the 60 game, honestly, that was a little whack. I'm gonna be real. I wasn't a big fan of it, if we're being honest.
Super quick.
It's 2 months of baseball, and like baseball, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, in my opinion. Like, teams in baseball are built for marathons, not sprints. And the teams that are built for sprints are in my opinion, the expensive teams and the teams that are built well. So that's why the Rays surprised me. I thought it was gonna be just, the powerhouses who spent all the money. Like Yankees and Dodgers in World Series. So Rays have nothing to hang their hat on other than their manager needs to take ownership for that mistake he made. But hey, I'm getting ready for this MLB offseason. It's always a wild offseason.
It is. Bunch of moves possibly happening.
Oh, yeah, always. And they love to spend money.
Oh, for sure.
We know that MLB loves to spend money.
I see the Dodgers making a move for maybe another pitcher.
Always do.
I
mean, they're getting David Price back. They traded for David Price with Mookie, and he didn't play this year because of COVID. So if they figure out this COVID thing, like I said, it's going to be really interesting to see how the season plays out next year, how many games it is, bubbles, this, that, postseason format. But really interesting, and La La Land's got 2 champions, man.
So congrats to them.
The Lakers and the Dodgers in the same year. It's tough up here in the Bay Area.
It is. Well, that recaps your quick little MLB segment for the World Series, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Any last statements, Huey?
A's 2021 World Series champs.
Oh, here we come. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 2 of Vibe Sports. We really appreciate all the support that we be getting with the shout-outs. Thank you for the 100 views on the other episode and still counting. Your first host with Maddie Bearcat.
Jordan Huey. Like Maddie said, we appreciate all the love and support that you guys are showing us. Make sure, like we said earlier, go to our Instagram, find the official sticker of Vibe Sports Talk. You won't find it anywhere else. DM us if you're interested. We always respond. We appreciate all the support. Like I said, feel free to like, subscribe, and keep sharing the page. Thank you, guys.
And
See
these
you episode
stickers
3.
could also go perfect, you guys, on your bottles, on your phone cases, on your laptops, perfect,
on your
nice circle
binders.
size, your binders,
Yeah.
anything you want. So make sure you DM us for them. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the support.
See you episode 3.